Hello everyone, I'm Chris Martenson of Peak Prosperity. This is your weekly update. It is October 20th, 2017, and today's theme is wood. It's fall, and this is the provisions for the fall. Everything's getting ready to sort of stock up for the fall. This is the usual time of the year where you would see the stock market take a little bit of a breather, but it has not. The Nikkei in Japan has just recorded its 15th consecutive gain. That is, it's had 0 down days in all of October. That is the longest stretch of wins for Japan's stock market since 1961. What is going on? Well, as we have like Bitcoin fascination and we've got the markets all roaring, the narrative you're supposed to believe in is this: everything is fine. There is, I can tell you from my own personal investigations, there's a very strong real estate bubble here in Western Mass. I talk to people across the other parts of the country. There too, what's driving this? A huge influx of high-paying jobs? No, it's just got that mania again. But if everything could be fixed by a rising stock market, I'd be buoyant as well. But let's talk about the data that just came out this week. German researchers did a long study, and they discovered that over the past 25 years, insect populations, flying insects in the air that they measure in all sorts of different traps, and they collect them and they weigh them and they sort them. Over the past 25 years, they've fallen 79%. Let's call it 80%. A 4/5 reduction in insect population in Germany, totally matched by my experience driving across the United States as well, through farm country in August, in September, in July, through rural places which should be loaded with insects. Now, why should you care? I know some of you are going to say, oh, good. I don't like mosquitoes anyway, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about all winged insects. That's bees, it's butterflies, it's beetles, it's grasshoppers, you name it. Listen, it's just a very, very bad idea to lose the bottom of the food pyramid. Insects perform all kinds of services, if we need to look at it that way, but they're life, and they deserve to be living, and they deserve their shot here on Earth. And if you can admire them, there's nothing more beautiful than a live dragonfly perched on a reed in the sunlight, or an iridescent green beetle. These are amazing creatures. And if we lose them, here's a prediction. All sorts of bad things are going to happen that we can't possibly predict. Because although we can admire the complexity of nature and we can appreciate its stability that's born from that complexity, we cannot predict what will happen if that complexity is lost. But the rule of unintended consequences says something bad. That's what's always the case. So here's what we need to know. Why are they disappearing? They're waving their hands. They're saying, oh, we don't know. Could be a combination of factors. Stop. It's the chemicals we're putting on the farmlands. It's the chemicals that we put on our suburban lawns. It's the herbicides, it's the pesticides, it's the fungicides, it's the biocides. That's what's doing this. And if we can't organize ourselves to say, wow, an 80% loss in insects is a bad thing, let's immediately remedy that, because we could, but it would cost a few extra bucks. A couple of corporations wouldn't make quite as much money. But at the end of the day, if we're sitting on a big pile of money in a ruined earth, what's the point? What is there to look forward to in that story? So that's what I'm writing about this week. There's lots to be infuriated about, and I'm using that word very carefully. To simply be angry might be I'm getting angry as a defensive thing, or I might be getting angry to create drama, because I feast on drama. But infuriated means there's something that's happening that's either illogical, irrational, and it's harming me. I'm infuriated by central bank money printing. It's harming all of us, and it's going to end very badly. That's infuriating. It's like if I had a neighbor who just randomly fired his gun into my house at odd points. That's infuriating, right? So, or if somebody's just weaving in front of you and slamming on their brakes, trying to cause an accident with you on the highway for no reason, that's infuriating. So it's infuriating when we're harming ourselves or being harmed for reasons that don't make sense. And that's what happens to the insects. That's what's happening with monetary policy. That's what's going on with the healthcare policies in the United States. Absolutely infuriating. And if you're not infuriated, you're not paying attention. So it's time to be infuriated, because it means you know why these things are happening. If you're infuriated and you understand it, all of a sudden Catalonia is not a mystery, as they're making it out in the newspapers. Trump's election, not a mystery. Brexit, not a mystery, nor will all the things that follow, where people are saying, enough, I'm done, I don't want to participate in this. So if you want to find out more about that data, other data, plus what you can do about this, there's still time to join Adam Taggart and myself in New Orleans at the Investor Conference. We're both presenting there and having a private breakout session for our core members who want to come to that, where we're going to be discussing all of this data and a lot more. So that's just next week. So take a look at that, and I think that's October 25th, 6th, 7th, and we'll be there. Come on by. Would love to see you, maybe even just to catch a drink. So with that, I'm Chris Martenson. I will see you next week.